What is array? Mansi, Nikha, Numan, Omkar, Yash. Who will tell me?
data type object.
Yes, Numan. Please speak. Yes,
Sir, collection of same data type in one object.
yes. Okay. So now you can see. First, I will tell you what is the necessity of the array. Okay. So I think in the last previous lecture also I have told about the concept related to array little bit. But for example, we have the 100 students, right? We want to take the name of the 100 students. Okay, so name and the roll number. Okay, so whenever you want to access the name and roll number for 100 students, so there may be a possibility that you can define the 100 variables for name and 100 variable for the roll numbers. Okay, so the if you do like this, at the time what will happen, the memory space will be very complex level. Okay, so too much huge memory space will be allocated for this kind of variable, like 100 variables. Okay, for same data type, and to manage all this variable it is very difficult. Okay, so पहले क्या करना है, उसको डिक्लेयर करना है, फिर उसमें वेरिएबल की वैल्यू यूज़र से एक्स करना है, वो एक्सेप्ट करना है, स्टोर करना है, प्रोसेस करना है। तो हर बार 100 स्टूडेंट 100 वेरिएबल का अगर प्रोसेस करना है तो कितना बड़ा प्रोग्राम हो जाएगा। ठीक है, बहुत बड़ा प्रोग्राम हो जाएगा। ओके, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट, अगर 100 की जगह हज़ार हज़ार की जगह 10,000 है तो उस टाइम क्या करेंगे। सो इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू मैनेज। ओके, so instead of that we need to create such a type of variable. Within the single variable we can able to write the 100 student information. Okay, so such kind of approach is nothing but the array. Okay, so by using the single variable we can add the multiple values. Okay, so it will be try to store the similar type of data. Okay, so we can say that whenever we are trying to define the array, so that is data type value. Okay, similar data type value we can store, right? So for example, you want to store the name, so at that time we can obviously we can try to create the string type of data. So when we want to store the roll number, it depends upon the institute which kind of roll number they are using. They are either using string type or integer type. Okay, so if it is string type, you can define the string type, or if it is a purely numeric value, so you can use the integer. Okay, so in this manner we can define the variable. Okay, and in this variable we can try to store the value of 100 students. Okay, so we need to set the size, right? Size of this name is 100. Okay, so the string name, so we need to set the size 100. Similar manner we can set the size of the roll number is also 100. Okay, so in this manner once you have set the size, you can store the maximum value as 100. Okay, so how to define, there is a question how to define this array into the Java. Okay, so first we will see what are the types of the array. Okay, so there are two types. Okay, there are two types of array. So first array is, you can say, the one dimensional dimensional array. What do you mean by one dimensional? Okay, so there is a one stroke, within the only one stroke we can store the data. Okay, so by using the contiguous memory space. Okay, so whenever you are trying to allocate the memory space of any array type of variable, at that time it will be try to hold the contiguous memory space. Okay, so what do you mean by contiguous memory? Anybody can tell me? This is the concept of the basic computer science or CSA. Okay, for example, this is your memory address. You can say 00111. Okay, so this is memory address. And you want to create the memory space for 100 students. Okay, so we can say that we can contiguous. Okay, so the one after the one. Okay, so there is a no gap in between them. Okay, so likewise the continuous memory will be allocated to that particular student value. Okay, or we can say either name or roll number. Okay, so we will try to store the values of your student into the specific contiguous memory location. So we can say that this is the block. So this first block will be try to allocate the first student information. Second block will be try to allocate the second student information. Third, fourth, up to so on. Okay, so we can say that the first, second, third, up to what? 100. Okay, so in this manner we can try to allocate the memory space to the whenever we are trying to define the array. Okay, so that is contiguous memory space. Okay, one after the another, there is no gap in between them. Okay, and the address is same. Okay, only the index value will be varied. Okay, so you can say that when you want to access the first value, so at that time the memory space will be always start from the zeroth location. Okay, so zeroth index value 0 1 2 3 up to the 100 means n minus 1. Okay, so that will be become 99. Okay, so total 100 student can be accommodated here. Okay, so that is the contiguous memory space we can store. If we have defined the another variable, for example, this is a name variable. Okay, and the another variable is roll number. Okay, so we can randomly choose the roll number memory address. You can see it is B0024, any memory address. Okay, and similar manner it will be try to store the or allocate the memory space of for the 100 students. In this way we can assign the memory space. Okay, so now question is arises that how to define the one-dimensional array into the Java, and another one is two-dimensional array. Okay, so there are two types of array: one-dimensional array and a two-dimensional array. Okay, so now see. So whenever we have defined the one-dimensional array, so at the time only one scripting value will be one scripting value, or we can say one index value to access the data or to store the data. And in two-dimensional array there are two subscript value, or we can say two index value. Okay, so to access the data. Okay, so how it can be possible when we are trying to define the two-dimensional array. So at that time it may be a combination of rows and column. Okay, हा फक्त एकच रोज आला, ठीक आहे, रोज, ठीक आहे. पण मल्टिपल रोज जर असतील तर, जर समजा असा तुमचा डेटा आहे इन दिस मॅनर, ओके, तर हे तुमचे काय आहेत, कॉलम. यू कॅन से दिस इज कॉलम 1, दिस इज कॉलम 2, column 3, 4, this is column 5, right? Similar manner, this is your row 1, up to 5. So, okay, so up to 7, okay, so we can see that total 7 row and 5 columns. So when we want to access the value of each row and each column, so at that time we need to use the two index value, okay. So here we need to use the two. So here these are the index value. So by using this index value, only one index value, we can, by using the one index value, we can access the one dimensional array. But in two dimensional array, we need to use the two values. So for example, we can say the column number will be start from the 0, 1, 2, 3. Similar manner, the column row will be start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So when you want to access this element, first element, so the index value will be 0, 0, right? Then for this element 0, 1, it is not appearing, so we need to make the format. We don't want that. Okay, so 0, 0. Because it is not taking the leading 0. Okay. 0, 0, 0, 1, right? For this 0 means first index value for the row and second index value for the column. Okay, here row 0, column number 3, here row 0, first row, column number 4. Okay, so in this way, if you want to access this element, so at the time the column number is 1 and row number is 1 and column number is 0, right? For this element 1, 1, right? Is it clear? So now you tell me, if I want to access this number, okay, so what will be the index value? Will you please tell me? I want to access this number, okay, which is located on this memory space. So what will be the index value? Saga, इकडे बघा. So first we need to use the row value and second we need to use the column value. Okay, so tell me, समजतंय का? इंडेक्स जर मॅट्रिक्स जर असेल आपल्याला, so when you want to access the matrix element, at the time we need to use the index value for each element. Okay, so here index value for this number, okay, what will be the index value? So
6, 6, 4.
very
6,4.
correct. Yes, exactly. Okay, so 6, 4, right? Or we can say 6, 4 also, no issue. Okay, so first value will be indicate the row and second value will be indicate the column. Okay, so in this manner we can declare the two-dimensional array and we can try to access its value by the indexing. Okay, that is subscript. Okay, so now we have the two-dimensional array. Sometimes we can declare the three-dimensional array also. Okay, so 3 dimensional. So within that, so the row and columns are there, okay, like this. So these are the row and these are the columns, right? But so these row and column will be stored in the form of page, okay. So you can say that this is the another row and column. Again, this is another row and column. Here another row and column, okay. So you can say that this one is your one page, this one is your one page. So you can increase the font, okay. So this is your first page, this is your second page, right? This is your third page, this is your fourth page, okay. So in this manner, so like it is like we can say that this is the index number of the page, row and column, okay. So we can say that three-dimensional array, okay. So this two-dimensional and three-dimensional array, we can say that it is a multi-dimensional array. So complete Java array has been divided into the two types. Which type? One-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Is it clear? Is it clear? Or no? Array क्या है वो तो समझ में आया. What is array? So by using the single type of variable, we can accommodate the n number of items. That is nothing but your array. Okay. So now we will see how to define the array into the Java. Okay. So for that we need to use the square bracket. Okay. So by using the square bracket we can try to define the array, and you know that. Okay. So how to define the variable? Integer a. Okay. So this is a normal variable, but we will try to write like this: integer a square bracket. So it is not a normal variable, it is a array type of variable. Okay. So whenever we are using the opening square bracket and closing square bracket together, it means it will be simply indicate that we can declare the array type of variable. Okay. So in Java we can define the array in different ways. So this is the first approach. So integer a like this. This is the second. Integer square bracket. Okay. Third one. Manner we can try to define the array element, okay, or array variable. So when you want to define the one-dimensional array, at the time the maximum possibility is three types, three ways we can define the one-dimensional array in Java. Okay. So sometimes you have seen or observed in the some of the books, while declaring the main method, public static void main, like this, string square bracket args, okay, like this. So what it means? It means that we are trying to define the args as a variable of type string, right? So in this manner we can try to define the array type of variable, okay. So which will be able to store the similar type of data under a contiguous memory location. Okay, right? Understood? Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once we have defined or declared the array variable, so we can say that this is the declaration of array variable. Okay. So once we have declared this array variable, you need to allocate the memory space. हे ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही डिक्लेअर केलं तर त्यासाठी मेमरी स्पेस अलोकेट होत नाही. At the time it will be not never we declare the memory space. You need to allocate memory space. So for that particular array variable. Okay, so for that, you know that whenever you want to allocate the memory space, we are always using the which keyword? New keyword. Okay, so by using the new keyword, we are able to allocate the memory space. Okay, so try to remember that. So whenever you want to declare the object or any type of variable or any type of array, so at that time we are using the new keyword. Okay, so by using the new keyword, we are able to allocate the memory space. Okay, so now here we have declared one variable of array a equal to new. Okay, so here you want to decide how many number of items or elements you want to store into your array. So it will be like this: integer square bracket, within that we need to write the size. Okay, so this is the general structure. So in this manner we can allocate the memory space. Okay, so it will be like this. So integer, we can say the 5 elements we want to store. Okay, so in this way we can allocate the memory space for the 5 elements. Okay, another approach is that we can directly define the array integer a equal to like this also. For example, you want to define the 5 elements, so 1 2 3 4, like this, semicolon. In this also, in this manner also, you can define the array elements directly without using the new keyword. Okay, so this is the direct memory space allocation, and it will be try to store the value on that particular memory location according to the its index value. Okay, so this first element will be stored on the 0th index value, second element will be stored on the second, that is 1 index value, and last element will be stored on the n minus 1. Okay, so you have the 5 elements, that is the value of n is 5. Okay, so n minus 1 means 4. So last element will be always stored on the n minus 1 index value. Okay, so whenever you want to access the element, or once you have defined this kind of memory space to your array variable, so at that time we can directly allocate the data, or we can insert the value into your array by using its index value. Okay, so for example, you want to store the first element in your array as a 10. Okay, second element will be 20, third element will be third element means second index value 30. Randomly you can choose any value. In this manner also we can allocate the memory space, and we can try to store the value on that memory space. Okay, by using its index value. Similar way, when we want to access its value on that particular location, so by using its index value we can simply access that value. Okay, so let's see one example very shortly, and we will try to execute it. Okay, so we can say that the class array. Okay, and here we need to write the main method public static yes Mansi public static void main. This is your main method. So you need to write the string type of array like this also, no problem. Okay, in bracket, closing bracket. So save this program. So I will try to store on particular any location. So we will try to store into the E drive. Okay, so array demo.java. So whenever you are using the notepad, so click on the all files. Okay, So at the time it will be stored into the specific type. Okay. That we can say ARR opening bracket. Okay. Or you can directly assign the value new AR instead of ARR. It is a type of integer. Okay. So 5. Okay. So we have allocated the 5 memory space for these array. Okay. So we can store the value like this: ARR first value and location 10. Okay. Otherwise, we can just assign the value for each one. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can assign the random value. Any value we can assign, and you want to fetch this value. Okay. So we can print system.out.println. So when you want to retrieve the array element by using simple the name of the array variable and its prescription value or its subscript value or index value. Okay, so you want to access the first element, so we will try to display the first element only. Okay, so now try to execute this program. So where we have stored it into the E drive. Yes, array demo.java. Okay, one prompt. Let's check Java compiler is working or not. Yes, it is working also, no problem. Okay, so Java C array demo.java. Okay, so the compilation is successful. Execute array. Okay, so you will see the answer is 10. Okay, so you can write the value like this: element of my array this, right, like this. This manner just recompile, execute. So first element of my array is 10. So similar manner you want to access the value or another variable, another values which are present in your array. So first element, then second element, you can say third, you can say fourth, fifth. So you can just modify the index number 1, 3, 4. Okay, so just recompile and execute. So you will get the correct value. So if you don't want to access the element by using the uh, by writing the each and every statement. Okay, so instead of writing all these statement one by one, so we need to access this array element by one stroke. Okay, so here this array size has very less. It is only 5 elements which are present. So therefore it is very easy to access the 5 elements by directly writing the statement. But the array size is very bigger, like 100 array elements are present, thousands elements are present in your array. So at the time it is very difficult to manage or write the 1000 lines. Okay, so instead of that you need to check what is the size of your array, and you will try to execute the your for loop up to that particular array. Okay, so you can say that integer size. So you need to find out the size of your array. Okay, so there is a one length method is there, arr dot length. Okay, so by using that we will try to check the size of your array. So we will just check it, try to print here as a size of my array is size. Okay, so first try to check it. Java C array demo. So now you can see size of my array is 5. Okay, so once you know the size of your array, so you can execute your for loop up to the size of your array. Okay, so we have the opening bracket, closing bracket of this for loop. You can define the one variable of type integer, and I value will be used for the iteration purpose or index value purpose. Okay, so I is equal to 0, I is less than the size I plus plus. Okay, so it should be always less than the size, not equal to. Okay, why? Because the array index value is always start from the 0. Because of that, you need to make the less value as from your size. Okay, so I is equal to 0, I is less than whatever the size of your array element, and I plus plus. Okay, so now you want to just print this value, so I will just use like this. So here you will just, instead of this direct value, you can just use the index number here. Okay, and here we don't want to print nothing here. We will just message like this. So just recompile your program, execute. So you will get this value 10, 40, 70, 30, 90. Okay, now you can see by using the index value of your array, so that index value is changing with according to your for loop iteration value. Okay, so if you want to print in a systematic manner on which memory location which was the element present, so we can write like this: ARR the space double quotation. Okay, so it will be print this ARR, that is your array, then plus sign its index value, then plus sign. Okay, then after that you need to close the square bracket and give equal to, and after that print the value. Okay, so let's see what will be the output. Compile and you will get. Okay, so first element, second element, up to so on. Okay, so according to that the index value you can access the memory, access the element of your array, and you can insert the element into your array. Okay, so the retrieve and insertion, both the operation can be performed by using the its index value. Okay, so if you want to take the input from the user, and then you need to add the array, so it will be also possible. For example, you want to take the say integer, one variable you want to define, integer array, you can say limit. Okay, so limit of your array, and you need to ask to the user, please enter the array limit. Okay, and give the message to the user, please enter the. Okay, so dynamically we can create the array size. Okay, so by default we will try to initialize the value as a 0, and whatever the value is there, that according to that value we will try to initialize your array. Okay, so you can say that integer my array square bracket equal to new integer, whatever the size is given or limit is given by the user. Okay, so we will just try to check it by using this size variable. So here you will just print it this statement. So size of this my array. Okay. So my array dot length. Okay. So whatever the size, that size will be printed here as per the user requirement. Okay. But whenever you are trying to give the message to the user, so you need to take the input from user. So while taking the input directly, it is not possible. So you need to define the one of the input device or IOStream class. Okay. So you need to import the scanner or any other alternative class. Import Java 18 dot scanner. Okay, so this is the class, and you need to create the object of this class. Okay, scanner sc equal to new scanner after square method routine. Okay, so by using that value, you try to store the limit value. Okay, of your array is equal to dot sc dot next int. So let's check whether your program is working properly or not. So here, compile your program, execute it. So it will be asked to the user, please enter the array limit. You can say my array limit is 10 limit. So you can say size of my array is 10. Similar manner, you can enter the my array limit is, for example, 1000. So it is according to your user requirement. You can initialize the memory space, for example 50. So 50. So you know the how to allocate the memory space from the user input. Then according to the user input, you can insert the values also. Okay. So you just take the input from the user like this. You know that the size of your array. Okay, so you can define the variable. One would loop we will try to use for integer I equal to 0. I and the what is the limit? Whatever the limit is given by the user. Okay, I plus plus. So you want to store the my array my element. Okay, so by using its index value, you can store it, right? So you need to access the value. Okay, so you need to tell to the always user, please insert the element. Okay, so we will try to do the message to the user, enter the array element. Okay, and here whatever the value is entered, that can be stored here. So you and after the array element has been stored under the my array variable, so you need to display that value. Okay, so for displaying purpose, you will just use input user input array. So like this. So this is, instead of this, it will be my array. This is your array. Okay, so let's check whether it's working properly or not. Compile, execute. So you see, for example, you want to insert only the two elements, so you can say 2. Okay, so first element is my 50 and second element is 70. Okay, so you will get the 50 and 70. If you want to insert the 5 element, so you can, okay, so you will try to write the 45, 96, 85, 76. So you can insert the any number according to the user price. You can decide the limit of your array according to the user price. Okay, so is it understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much. Have a nice day. If you have any questions, you can ask.